Weekly Young and the Restless Spoilers, February 2nd, -6. Abby seeks help as Kane is under attack, and Sharon resists the truth. For the residents of Genoa City, the line between love and war is not just blurred, it's been erased, redrawn in scandal, and set on fire. The week of February 2nd, -6 promises a seismic shift in alliances, a desperate plea for salvation, and a truth so terrifying that one woman will build a fortress of denial to keep it out. Strap in, dear readers, as the drama reaches a fever pitch. Abby's desperate gambit, a mother's fortress crumbles. At the penthouse suite of the Grand Phoenix, a different kind of storm is brewing, one of silent panic and mounting dread. Abby Newman Abbott, the vibrant heiress who has faced down corporate takeovers and personal betrayals, finds herself in a battle for which no boardroom could ever prepare her. The safety of her son, Dominic. The source of her terror. The looming, unpredictable shadow of Tucker MC Call. As his machinations grow more erratic and his obsession with legacy and revenge intensifies, Abby sees a direct threat to her family's fragile peace. But she won't be facing this alone. This week, Abby makes a calculated, heart-wrenching decision. She seeks help from the last person anyone expected. Insiders whisper that her confidant is none other than Ashley Abbott. In a stunning reversal, Abby will approach her mother, whose own psyche is a fractured mirror of past traumas. Abby's past pride reveals a show source. She sees the chaos Tucker embodies and knows the old rules don't apply. She needs Ashley's fierce, albeit unstable, maternal instinct and her intimate understanding of Tucker's darkest corners. It's a high-risk strategy, asking a woman wrestling her own demons to stand guard, but Abby is out of options. This alliance promises fireworks. Can Ashley compartmentalize her own crisis to become the guardian her daughter needs? Or will this desperate union become the crack through which more danger seeps? Abby is building a coalition of the willing, proving that in Genoa City, family is the shield you forge in the darkest fire. Kane's last stand, a warrior cornered. Meanwhile, at the Chancellor estate, a different threat emerges from the shadows, and it's armed with more than just malicious intent. It's armed with the truth. Kane Ashby, a man who has built and rebuilt his life on a foundation of half-truths and buried origins, finds his world under direct assault. The assailant? Jill Abbott, the matriarch whose love is as formidable as her wrath. Fresh from her own revelations and armed with a burning need to protect the Chancellor name, Jill turns her gaze on the man she once called son. But this isn't a simple confrontation. Jill's attack is strategic, brutal, and aimed at the core of Kane's identity. She will expose financial discrepancies, question his every move at Chancellor Winters, and, most devastatingly, reopen the wounds of his past deceptions. Jill is a force of nature when she believes her family is being exploited, an insider notes. She's connecting dots Kane prayed would remain scattered. This isn't just business, it's personal. She's challenging his right to the very air he breathes in her world. Kane, a seasoned fighter, will be pushed to his absolute limit. Will he crumble under the weight of the sins Jill unearths? Or will this attack trigger a fight back so vicious it forever severs the ties that bind? Kane's back is against the wall, and a cornered animal is always at its most dangerous. The estate's hallowed halls will echo with the sound of a family tearing itself apart. Sharon's labyrinth of denial, when the truth is the monster. If Genoa City has a heart, it beats in the chest of Sharon Newman. But that heart is about to be put through a trial that threatens to stop it entirely. Sharon, who has navigated mental health struggles with profound resilience, now faces a psychological threat more insidious than any she's known. The truth about Cameron Kirsten, the full, unvarnished, and horrifying narrative of his final acts and her own potential vulnerability during a fractured state, is creeping toward her like a fog. And Sharon is doing everything in her power to outrun it. This week, her resistance to this reality hardens into an impenetrable fortress. Sharon has spent years learning to trust her mind again, a source close to the character explains. To now be presented with facts about a period shrouded in her own trauma feels like a trap. Accepting it means questioning her own perception, her safety, and her sanity. So, she rationalizes, she deflects, she outright refuses. To her, the so-called truth feels less like clarity and more like a new form of poisoning. Her resistance will put her on a collision course with those who love her most, particularly Nick Newman, who is desperate for her to face the facts so she can truly heal. Their dynamic will be a poignant dance of concern versus self-preservation. Nick will see a dam about to break. Sharon will see him trying to flood her world. Her journey this week is a masterclass in the human psyche's capacity for self-protection, even when that protection is itself a prison. Crossroads and collisions. As these three titanic storylines unfold, the rest of Genoa City crackles with consequential energy. Victoria Newman's grip on Newman Enterprises tightens as she maneuvers against the Nate Hastings-shaped wildcard in her boardroom. Expect her to make a power play that leaves even Victor momentarily pausing in assessment. Meanwhile, the romantic tango between Billy Abbott and Chelsea Lawson hits a complex new rhythm. Their shared history is a ghost that neither can fully exorcise, and a moment of unexpected vulnerability will force them to decide if they are building a future or merely curating a museum of past mistakes. And don't forget the budding intrigue at Chabot, where Kyle Abbott's ambition begins to chafe against Jack's more measured leadership, setting the stage for a classic Abbott generational clash. The week of February 2nd-6 is not merely a collection of episodes. It is a declaration. It tells us that in Genoa City, the past is not just prologue, it is an active missile. That love is not enough without safety, that family is both your greatest weapon and your most vulnerable target, and that sometimes the mind's most valiant battle is fought not in seeking the light, but in resisting a darkness masquerading as truth. The city's skyline may glitter, but in its homes and penthouses, hearts are preparing for war. Tune in. The turbulence is just beginning.